This is Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl. Now from the Collins Aerospace Studio at the Nordloff Center in downtown Rockford, here's your host, Eric Wilson.
Happy New Year, almost. It's our New Year's Eve edition of Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl, and everybody's in the spirit. Look at all of our contestants are ready to say goodbye to 2023, but we'll only see one of these teams in 2024. That's just how this game works. Only one will be able to advance. Last week, you saw Christian Life put up the highest point total so far this season. Both of these teams are capable of putting up a lot of points as well. Let's get some applause going for the returning Marengo Indians. Year 7 for Marengo. They're coming off back-to-back Elite 8 appearances, and both times coming up short against Auburn. No Auburn to worry about today, Leo and the team. Leo's the captain. Tell us who you brought with you.
All right, with me on my left, I got Grant. On my right, I got Lawson, and on my far right, I got Perla.
We know we're just getting this game started, but you pretty much have the coolest attitude and the coolest introduction of your team so far this season. You know, if that was worth points, you'd get some right now, Leo.
I do what I can.
Nice. Well, we're glad you're part of the game. And we're also glad that Oregon is here and part of our game. Let's have a nice round of applause for them. Oregon's been here since day one. Their best appearance was the Final Four. That was way back, though, in our first year. But a year ago, they only fell 2 questions short of making it to the Elite 8. We've got not Emily as the captain of that team. Actually, that's Abby, but that's our running joke before we started the game today. Abby's the captain. Abby, who's in your starting lineup?
Well, on my right, I have Emily, and on my left, I have Emily.
See? So we've got we've got not Emily in the middle and the 2 Emily. It's like an Emily sandwich, or maybe more appropriately, that's an Abby sandwich.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? All right. This will make more sense when we start playing the game and I stop talking and just ask you guys questions. That's the easiest thing for me to do. Hands on your buzzers. That's what we need for this first round. Remember, wait for me to call your name before your answer and say your answer loudly and clearly. We'll wear these glasses as long as we can. If it interrupts with your gameplay, feel free to take them off, put them on your forehead, get them out of your way. And I'm going to do the same thing too. But we wanted to get into the spirit and celebrate the new year. Everybody ready for the first question? Here we go. In 1959, African-American pinch hitter Pumpsie Green debuted against the White Sox, making what team the last in the major leagues to integrate? Go ahead, Lawson.
The Cardinals.
Incorrect. Oregon, you can get the first points of the game. Go ahead, Abby.
The Braves.
Incorrect. It's worth making a guess. The Boston Red Sox. Which painter of the Potato Eaters painted up? Leo.
Van Gogh.
That's right. You didn't even need the rest of it. Painted a home he lived in with Paul Gauguin in this artist's painting bedroom at Arles. Marengo gets the first points of the game. What sequence introduced in the book Liber Abaci starts 1, 1, 2, Leo?
Fibonacci sequence.
That's right. 1, 1, 2, 3 is the rest of that sequence. We'll move on to a new one. Canada's Great Bear Rainforest is an example of what type of rainforest with a cooler climate? Leo.
Temperate.
That's right, then a tropical rainforest. That's 3 in a row. What author who wrote about the fictional Greentown, Illinois in Dandelion Wine imagined the colonization of Mars in The Martian Chronicles? Abby.
Vonnegut.
Incorrect. Marengo. Go ahead, Leo.
Bradbury.
Yeah, that's right, Ray Bradbury. What realm of Norse mythology created using the eyebrows of the Jotun Ymir is connected to Asgard by the Bifrost and is Emily W.
Midgard.
That is right, and is the home of humans. Oregon's first points of the game. Laurie Strode has a final showdown with supernatural killer Michael Myers in a 2022 entry, Leo.
Halloween.
That's right. What horror film series? What author depicted a Babylonian thinker in his book Zadig and satirized mathematician Gottfried Leibniz as the optimistic Dr. Pangloss in Candide? Leo.
Descartes.
Incorrect. Oregon. Go ahead, Emily W.
Smith.
Incorrect. You're so close. Voltaire. Members of the Moravian Church are modern-day followers of what Czech religious reformer who was burned at the stake in 1415? He was convicted of heresy for his part in the Western Schism of the Catholic Church. That is Jan Hus. What theorist whose ideas were a major basis of Jacques Lacan's writings analyzed Irma in the interpretation of dreams and founded psychoanalysis? Leo.
Freud.
That is right, Sigmund Freud. What Italian author wrote about novice monk Adso of Melk, who helps William of Baskerville find a murderer in the 1980 novel, The Name of the Rose? That was Umberto Eco. What man, whose colitis forced him to resign as head of the LDP in 2020, was assassinated after being the longest-serving Japanese prime minister? Leo.
Abe.
That is correct, Shinzo Abe. What Plains state was represented in the Senate by Tom Daschle and Leo?
Kansas.
Incorrect. I'll finish for Oregon. And by the 1972 Democratic nominee for president, George McGovern. Abby.
Kansas.
Incorrect. South Dakota. And that's how we end the round. Solid round for both teams. Marengo's got 70. Oregon has 10. And we've got a lot of game left to play. Our next round's called volleyball, and we'll have it for you after this break. Time for round 2 of the final Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl of 2023. Marengo's on top right now. They've got 70 points, but Abby and the Emilys are not too far behind. They have 10. Our volleyball round is coming up next. First, a thank you to our judge today. Michelle Markham is the Public Information Officer for the Rockford Police Department. She helps us out all year long, but she's helping us out today on our show and has for the last several episodes. We appreciate that. Michelle, thank you so much. And we appreciate your friendship too. Our teams, this is a conferring round. Work as a team as you answer, but all those answers have to come from Leo and Abby, our captains. Leo, you get the first volleyball question. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Rusting is what type of process, prevented by galvanization, in which a refined metal is degraded to a more stable oxide?
Oxidation.
Incorrect. We needed corrosion. First question now for Oregon. What agency whose COINTELPRO initiative targeted civil rights groups under Director J. Edgar Hoover is the main federal law enforcement agency?
The FBI.
FBI is right. It seemed like you knew that pretty quickly. You get the first points of this round. We're back over to Leo and Marengo. The Bringer of War and The Mystic are subtitles of movements in what suite by Gustav Holst?
Flight of the Valkyrie.
Incorrect. The movements are titled Mars and Neptune. That's the planets. Back to Oregon. The brightest events in the universe are bursts named for what form of radiation emitted by excited nuclei, which has energy higher than X-rays?
Supernova.
Incorrect. They also turned Bruce Banner into the Hulk. That's gamma ray bursts. Back to Marengo. What 17th century poem by Andrew Marvell urges the title woman to accept a lover's embrace because time's winged chariot is hurrying near?
No answer.
Had we but whirled enough and time, this coyness, lady, were no crime. To his coy mistress is the title of that poem. Back to Oregon. What 1937 novel, whose characters include a man known as Tea Cake and a resident of Eatonville named Janie Crawford, is by Zora Neale Hurston?
The Great Gatsby.
Incorrect. Oprah turned this into a TV film in 2005 starring Halle Berry. Their eyes were watching God. Back to Marengo. What president who signed the Indian Citizenship Act of 1924 was nicknamed Silent for his pronounced terseness?
Coolidge.
Yes. Lawson, I'm giving you credit for that. I think you whispered that into Leo's ear. You get those points. Back over to Oregon. What conflict, described as a splendid little war by John Hay, ended with U.S. control of the Philippines and began after the sinking of the Maine?
The Spanish-American War.
You got it. That's right. The rallying cry was "Remember the Maine." Back over to Marengo. What Italian word, often used to mean a climax, is used in music to mean a gradual increase in loudness?
Crescendo.
Yes, confidently. Your whole team seemed to agree with that one. Oregon. What quantity, which is as low as possible at a mixture's eutectic point, is depressed in a solution and is 0 degrees Celsius for pure water?
Freezing point?
That's right. You got it. 32 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's the last question of the round. So we end with those points for Oregon. 50-point swing right now. Marengo's got 90. Oregon has 40. Our next round has a lot of points in it. That's our lightning round. Everybody looks forward to that. But something maybe our contestants look even more forward to is the chance to win pizza and pasta. Look at the smile on Emily W.'s face. She knows what's coming. It's the Bergstrom bonus question. We'll be back with the answer.
When the clock strikes midnight here in Rockford on New Year's Eve, what time will it be in Las Vegas?
Our New Year's edition, or New Year's Eve edition of Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl is a close match right now. Marengo has 90, Oregon has 40. Before the scores change, how about pizza and pasta? It's pretty clear how excited the Emilys are about this. Abby too, maybe everybody up here on the stage. Because the Bergstrom bonus question has pizza and pasta on the line from Lino's. Lawson's eyebrows say it all. Here's the question, hands on your buzzers, let me know if you know the answer to this. When the clock strikes midnight here in Rockford on New Year's Eve, what time will it be in Las Vegas? Leo.
10 o'clock.
Can you be more specific?
10 p.m.
Yeah, you got it. Nice work. Who knows? Maybe Leo and the team, you can celebrate 2024 with some pizza and pasta from Lino's. That's right. Traditionally the busiest night of the year on the Vegas Strip. Experts estimate a crowd of more than 400,000. Years ago, I was one of them, and it is crazy pandemonium, but certainly a lot of fun. And let's take a break and come back with our lightning round. Speaking of fun and lots of points on the line. We'll be right back. We're back to business here on Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl, the New Year's Eve edition. Marengo's on top with 90 points. Oregon is in second place with 40, and there's nobody else in third place. I don't know why I phrased it that way, but Oregon's got 40 points. Our NECA IBEW Lightning Round has a lot of points available. In fact, you all know if you run a category, that's 100 boosted to your score. It is a conferring round. Work as a team. Coin flip went in Oregon's favor. That means Abby and the Emilys will get first choice of the categories this week. Here are your three, Abby. Also in a deck of cards, former country names, and F in initials.
Cards,
All right,
please.
we'll take that first category then. Also in a deck of cards. Name these things that share their name with playing cards. There's a connection to all of this. It'll make sense once we start asking the questions. You will have a minute on the clock for the first time through. Then, Leo, you get a second run at it for whatever's left. Remember the pass option, because that can play a big part in the game and getting to all of the questions. Abby, are you set for your first one?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Name these things that share their name with playing cards. Villain played in movies by Jared Leto and Heath Ledger.
Joker.
Correct. 2020 song title used separately by Sam Smith and Megan Thee Stallion.
Pass.
Literary character who says, "Off with their heads."
Queen of Hearts.
Correct. Surname of man named Rodney who was beaten by LAPD in 1991.
Pass.
Number of Russian composers in The Mighty Handful.
8.
Incorrect. Tennis serve not touched by the opponent.
Love.
Incorrect. Outlet for plugging in a phone line.
Pass.
Number of samurai in an Akira Kurosawa film.
9.
Incorrect. Nursery rhyme character who stole the tarts and took them clean away.
Pass.
Pyotr Tchaikovsky opera based on work by Alexander Pushkin. That is our 60 seconds. Time is up. No answer there. You have two of them, right? You're up to 60 points. There's a lot left here on the board for Leo, you, and the rest of the gang. I'll read it as fast as I can, but you only get 30 seconds. Are you ready?
Yep.
Name these things that share their name with playing cards. 2020 song title used separately by Sam Smith.
Club.
Say that again.
Club.
Incorrect. Surname of a man.
King.
Say that again.
King.
King is correct. Number of Russian composers.
5.
Correct. Tennis serve.
Ace.
Correct. Outlet for
Jack.
plugging. Correct. Number of samurai.
7.
Correct. Nursery rhyme character who stole the tarts and took them clean away.
Jack.
Incorrect. Pyotr Tchaikovsky opera based on work by Alexander Pushkin. And no time left. Wow, that's pretty solid. No answer on that last one for anybody. You got 5 of them right, so you boosted by 50 points. You're up to 140. The 3 left, right, that nobody got. The 2020 song title, actually also a Janet Jackson song from 1987. That was Diamonds. The nursery rhyme character, you said Jack. Technically, that's not correct because he stole the hearts, took them clean away, was the Knave of Hearts. And the Tchaikovsky opera was the Queen of Spades. So 1 category down, 2 left to pick from, and Leo, you are up for either former country names or F in initials.
We're going to go with F in initials.
All right. Let's see if this is a good choice for you. For what word does the letter F stand for in these abbreviations? I'll give you the abbreviation. You tell me what F means in those abbreviations, those acronyms. And then Abby, same rules apply for the second run through for you, 30 seconds, and you can snatch up some of those points that are left over. Leo, are you ready? We got 60 seconds on the clock for you. Here we go. For what word does the letter F stand for in these abbreviations? NFL, a sports league.
Football.
Correct. UFO, a spaceship.
Flying.
Correct. FCC, a government agency.
Federal.
Correct. JFK, the 35th
Fitzgerald.
president. Correct. SPF, a classification of sunscreen.
Pass.
FDA, a government agency.
Financial.
Incorrect. AFV, a class of military equipment.
Pass.
FAQ, a list of questions.
Frequently.
Correct. BFG, a character created
Friendly.
by... Say it again.
Friendly.
Correct. RAF, a British military branch.
Force.
Correct. SPF, a classification of sunscreen.
Frequency.
Incorrect. AFV, a class of military equipment.
Pass.
That's all you have left. And that's our timer. So only 3 left on the board. There's 30 points left for you, Abby, and the Emilys to pick up. 30 seconds. Take it all if you want, or just answer and we can move on. It's your choice, but take it if you need it. Are you ready? Here are the 3 with the 30 seconds on the clock. For what word does the letter F stand for in these abbreviations? SPF, a classification of sunscreen.
Foundation.
Incorrect. FDA, a government agency.
Food.
Correct. AFV, a class of military equipment.
Force.
Incorrect. We can stop the clock there. The only 2 that no one got, the SPF is Sun Protection Factor. And that last one, the AFV, is Armored Fighting Vehicle. That's what the F stands for there. So as we head into our Mercy Health Final Challenge, Marengo's got a pretty commanding lead, 210 points. Oregon has 70, not too far from triple digits. We'll see how this ends up in about 2 minutes. We'll be right back. You are about to witness our final round of not only this game, but of 2023. Super exciting. We all get to be a part of it. How fun is that, no matter how this game ends up? Right now, Marengo's got a pretty strong lead, 210 points. Oregon has 70. Each of these questions, though, is worth 20 points, so we'll see how quickly these scores change. It's a buzz-in round, same rules as our first round, other than that point change. And remember, wait for me to call your name, say your answer loudly and clearly. Smiles on our faces, everybody grabs their buzzers as we enter into our Mercy Health Final Challenge. Here we go. What state is home to Haverford College, was represented in Congress during the Civil War by Thaddeus Stevens, and is governed from Harrisburg? Lawson.
Pennsylvania.
That is right. First points of the round to Marengo. What no longer extant Grand Republic was officially established under the 1821 Constitution of Cúcuta and contained modern Panama, Ecuador, and Venezuela? Emily W.
The Republic of Colombia.
That is correct, or Gran Colombia. We would have taken either one of those. Oregon's question there. We'll move on to a new one. What show that streams on Amazon Prime Video is set in Cousins Beach, stars Emily W.,
The summer I turned pretty.
You got it, 2 in a row for Oregon. You are now in triple digits. What country's longtime dictator who wrote the Green Book and overthrew King Idris I before being killed during the Arab Spring was Muammar Gaddafi? Leo.
Egypt?
Incorrect. Oregon, you could take these points. That'd be 3 in a row for you. Abby.
Russia.
Incorrect. Libya. What English scientist names the total charge on a mole of electrons, the law of electromagnetic induction, and a cage that blocks electric fields? Colin.
Faraday.
That is right. That is a Faraday cage. What work in which Leonore disguises herself to save her husband Florestan from prison is the only opera by Ludwig van Beethoven? Emily W.
Carmen.
Incorrect. Marengo, you want these points? Go ahead, Leo.
Madam Butterfly.
Incorrect. Solid guesses, both of you. Fidelio. What company whose CEO, Xiao Zichu, testified to Congress in March, had its platform banned in Montana, and is a Leo?
TikTok?
That's right. Social media site owned by ByteDance. What epic poem whose title character is exiled on the request of Kaikeyi features the 7th avatar of Vishnu defeating Ravana and rescuing Leo?
The Epic of Gilgamesh.
Incorrect. I'll finish for Oregon. And rescuing Sita. That was the Ramayana. What first female member of the Royal Statistical Society rose to prominence during the Crimean War, during which she served as a nurse to soldiers? Abby.
Florence Nightingale.
That's right. Her name is now synonymous with being a nurse. British politician Kwasi Kwarteng was the first black person to hold what position, which is responsible for the UK's fiscal and monetary policy? Emily W.
The Minister of Finance.
Incorrect. Marengo? That's the Chancellor of the Exchequer. What actor who won an Oscar for King Richard was subsequently Lawson?
Will Smith.
That's right. Subsequently banned from the Academy Awards for 10 years after he slapped Chris Rock. And that is how we ended, with that infamous moment at the Oscars. Marengo, just shy of 300 points. You are moving on. Congratulations. You will face Christian Life in our Sweet 16. Of course, we saw Christian Life last week put up our highest point total so far this season. You may have your work cut out for you. Abby and the Emilys, we are so sad to see you go. You guys clearly had a lot of fun playing the game. And are any of you seniors?
We're all seniors.
You're all seniors. All right, well, Abby, you need to get someone else to be captain and help recruit 2 more Emilys to kind of keep the sandwich going. But it's a positive theme, and seriously, you guys come back and visit us. Keep in touch. It's like we're signing yearbooks, KIT, so keep in touch, okay? And next week, we will watch as Auburn takes on Pearl City. But before we let you go, we have one more thing to do here, right? Because it's New Year's Eve, we feel a countdown is appropriate, shall we? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! We'll see you in 2024.